All right. How are we looking, Catherine?
Not everybody's on yet, but you could get started.
Yeah, since we're at 7:02. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to Spiritual Frontiers Fellowship's April lecture. This one tonight is entitled Letting Go for Greater Peace with intuitive healer and spiritual teacher, Susan Melchione. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. If you're here for the first time, we want to say welcome. And if you've been with us before, well, welcome back. My name is Smith Prim. I am the co-chair for Spiritual Frontiers Fellowship, along with Catherine Smart. We're here for you. We want you to know that SFF, our whole mission is about the people who attend our meetings. We are an all volunteer run organization, and we're here to help you develop and enhance your spiritual, mystical, and metaphysical awareness and consciousness. We do that by sponsoring programs like the one tonight that are designed to facilitate your personal growth and development and a holistic and spiritual approach to health and living. So just want to remind everybody that tonight's program is recorded. So if you don't want to be visible during the recording, just take a moment and turn your camera off. I'm going to take just a moment to do a quick little centering. I like to call it a 3-breath centering. So if you could just close your eyes lightly and take a breath in and let it out, and let out your day, what might be on your mind, what you had for dinner, what you wanted for dinner, and bring your attention and focus to here and now. Take a second breath. Breathe in love and light and begin to glow with your own light. And exhale. And one last clearing breath in and out. All right, and I welcome you back. I am honored tonight to introduce our speaker, Susan Melchione. Susan is an excellent speaker, and she's a good friend of mine. She holds a master's degree in social work and an extensive background in metaphysics and psychotherapy. Her services as an intuitive healer, spiritual teacher, and inspirational speaker are sought after in our community and far beyond. Tonight, Susan will help us explore ways to let go of unhealthy, energetic connections with others through energetic cord cutting. She will also help us release blocks to self-forgiveness through clarity, understanding, and getting in touch with our authentic selves. It's always a good time to do that, right? Mm-hmm. In addition to providing a framework for understanding blocks to releasing regrets and healing from the past, Susan will guide us through a transformative meditation. During the meditation, she will help us connect deeply with the energy of our chakras and meet archangelic assistance along our journey. Our presentation tonight will be in 3 parts. Susan's presentation is the first part, and the second part is a 37-minute approximately guided meditation. We were hoping with music, and we were still going to do that. We were having a couple of technical difficulties, but I believe we have a solution, and we're going to overcome that. So now, if you will be, please sit back and prepare to enjoy a peace-inspiring presentation by Susan Melchione. Take it away, Susan.
All right, thank you, Smith. Can you hear me okay? That's good? Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm excited to share with you what I have learned up to this time in my life in both my personal and professional experience about the process of letting go to bring in greater peace. I'm going to share with you things to think about that may help you to let go more easily, including specific techniques to help you to let go from an energy perspective, including the use of energetic cord cutting. And I'm going to offer you, as Smith said, the meditative experience to help you to connect more deeply with your authentic self and to let go from the energy of that space. This work can tap into deep emotions. So I want to be clear that the information and suggestions that I offer are in no way considered to be a replacement for professional information, guidance, and treatment. I believe and I hope that we're getting to a place in this world where mental health care is fully recognized as a form of healthcare. We all need to take care of our mental health. And so if you need significant emotional assistance, I suggest that you connect with a professional who is trained and actively licensed as a mental health care provider. Please know that even though I have experience and training in mental health, I'm not currently providing professional mental health services. What I do now is I provide sessions and classes that are primarily energetic, educational, and intuitive in nature. I also want to let you know that I will be offering some examples from my work to help you to understand some of these concepts. And please know that I am changing the details. I am not only changing the names and exact specifics, but I will generally use a conglomerate of clients and students and their experiences to ensure privacy for my clients and students. Okay, so here's how this goes. Often people ask me to help them to let go. Let go of what? So many things. Everything from intrusive or obsessive thoughts, to old hurts, to grief, to relationships themselves. Sometimes people want to let go of limiting beliefs or unrealistic expectations. Ultimately, people want to let go of pain. Most people want to release pain and suffering so that they may experience more joy, so that they may experience body and spirit. So why talk about disconnecting when we're living in a time when it is abundantly clear that we need more connection, or at least more harmonious connection? Well, back in my last presentation for SFF in 2018, entitled Embrace Being an Empath, I shared some perspective on what is happening in the world. So without repeating this now, let me just focus on the idea that sometimes we need a fresh start. Perhaps in some ways, the universe is bringing or forcing us to shift in big ways so that we have a fresh start. Sometimes we need to release some things or ways of being or some ways of doing things so that there's room for bringing in new experiences. Sometimes we need death for rebirth. Sometimes we need endings for new beginnings. And so the issue of letting go is much greater than any one tool or technique. Sometimes there is more, such as deeper soul searching that needs to take place. Energetic cord cutting is a tool. It's a technique. It can be powerful and effective, but like many tools, it is more likely to be effective when you're ready to use it. So let's compare using energetic cord cutting to using a pair of pliers to pull out a nail. Energetic cord cutting is the tool. It's the pliers. So of course it helps if you have an idea about how to use it. It helps to know which way to hold the pliers, how to align the pliers with the nail. When you use energetic cord cutting, you want your intention and readiness to be in alignment with the release. Sometimes this is all you need, but sometimes there is more to it. If the nail's in deep, you may need some strength when you use the pliers to pull it out. Maybe you need strength in your fingers, hand, and arm. Maybe enough core strength to be able to pull it out. You may need the emotional strength, maybe enough core strength, which may include confidence in yourself to allow yourself to let go. You may need enough light to see where their nail is. And you may need enough light, which may be the energy of love, maybe love for yourself, to allow yourself to let go. In this analogy, I'm asking you to become aware of the idea that it's not just about finding the right technique. It often includes the readiness and maybe preparation, which could be emotional or cognitive preparation as well. When we talk about energetic cord cutting, we're usually talking about releasing damaging or unhealthy connections with other people. When we think about energetic cord cutting as pliers, Remember, this is just one tool in your toolbox, and it's used for a specific purpose. You don't use it for everything. In my opinion, I do not recommend using energetic cord cutting to release parts of yourself. I've certainly had people over the years ask me to help them disconnect from a part of themselves that they don't like. When I tune in energetically, intuitively to that part of themselves, what I often see is a part of themselves that needs to heal. Often the person has already disconnected to some degree from that part of themselves. In their rejection of that part of themselves, I will often see the part of themselves outside of their physical body. You know that phrase, being beside yourself? Yeah, I've seen that. Some people are so besides themselves with their shadow selves that they live in a disconnected state from that part of themselves. And it's an either numb or uncomfortable way to live. Sometimes, and probably often, the disconnection is a defense mechanism and can be protective. And so I don't believe in ever forcing anything. My prayer and my intention in all of my work is for the highest good. And my intention in all of my work is to be in partnership with my clients and students. Everyone has an innate understanding of themselves, at least at some level. My work is often to simply help the person to be in touch with that, or to remind them of that. By the way, beware the person who claims to have all the answers, or who claims to be able to fix your life for you. We have entered into an age where we may leave that behind. We're in an age where it's time to look within and to collaborate together. And as you look within at the parts of yourself that you don't like, have compassion, have curiosity. Begin to understand that part so that you can heal it and integrate it back into yourself. Also, in general, I ask you to think more than twice about cutting damaging connections to a child, especially a child that's not yet an adult. The disconnected feeling that could take place could be really hard. And in fact, connecting with your child with love and compassion and understanding may be what they need to help them along the healing process. And as you look within, if you notice that you're carrying things that do not belong to you, like other people's experiences, feelings, thoughts, judgments, let those things go. If you notice that you're carrying your own emotions that were helpful to you at the time when they first came into your awareness, but are now becoming toxic as they are either suppressed or kept alive within, release those. We'll talk more about this later. Okay, back to using the specific tool of energetic cord cutting. This tool which helps us to energetically release damaging connections to other people. The tool itself is simple. It's primarily using your intention in a focused way. You may bring in energy healing techniques, intuitive guidance, but at the core, it's focused intention. People often express that they want to use this technique when they're feeling drained by holding on to a relationship or an aspect of a relationship that's not or no longer for their highest good. And most people are able to identify what they mean when they talk about feeling connected to someone in a damaging way or in a way that's not good for them. Now, you may have a very loving, life-giving, growing relationship with many healthy connections. I hope you do. And still have some unhealthy connections with the same person. When this is the case, and you release unhealthy connections to someone that you otherwise have strong, healthy connections to, the relationship often gets stronger or healthier. It's like pruning a tree. So here's an example. Jonathan is looking for just a little support to help him with his relationship with his husband, Liam. Overall, they have a healthy marriage, but some of the little things bother Jonathan. For example, Liam has a habit of talking to himself out loud that drives Jonathan crazy. And he knows this is such a small issue, but Jonathan can't help but to get angry when Liam does this. We can analyze why this affects Jonathan so much. We can explore how Liam can be more quiet. But Jonathan simply wants some energetic support to release the frustration from this. And so, with intention, with this issue that may not at all be deep-seated or complicated, Jonathan is able to benefit from energetic cord cutting to help him to release the frustration and anger that he has with Liam regarding the little annoying habits. I guide Jonathan through the technique, and Jonathan is able to easily release these damaging connections. He feels freer and he's relieved. And Liam's happier too, because now Jonathan doesn't get upset with him nearly as much. Liam is so happy about this and wants to feel more free from things that mildly upset him with people that he loves too. So he decides to get some energetic cord cutting for himself. Good for everyone. And sometimes it is that easy. This was a relatively easy thing for Jonathan to be ready for and to do. Some things are easier to get ready for and to implement. It is likely much easier to prune a tree than it is to relocate a tree. And often when people want assistance with releasing unhealthy connections to someone, it's because they're trying to move something heavy and they're struggling. So let's talk about getting ready. Whether it's just the idea of beginning to get ready or to help you to advance from where you are in your level of readiness, your conscious and subconscious levels of readiness may match, but they also may not match. If someone meets with me for a session with the intention of releasing damaging connections, at a conscious level, right, they're ready. They wouldn't schedule a session if they didn't want to let go. And yet, if they're experiencing resistance during the process, it may be because their subconscious is having an issue. When assisting someone with energetic cord cutting, if the damaging connections do not release easily, I will often ask the person what they think may be getting in the way of the release. And sometimes people know, and they'll be able to state what the issue is. And yet often the person will say, I don't know, or I'm not sure, but I really want to let go of this. So when the person's not sure, I tune into their subtle energy and I simply ask their energy, what's the resistance? Or what do you need to release? Most of the time their energy will tell me. Sometimes I read their energy through a vision or a symbol. And oftentimes their energy tells me in a sense of a feeling, or sometimes even through words. If you're intuitive, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If this is a new concept for you, this may sound really out there. And so I ask you to consider the idea that we're all energy and we can all learn through practice to tune in and communicate with energy. In fact, I believe that you are interacting and communicating with energy on different levels all day long. So really the practice is to become familiar with it and to bring it to a more accessible level of your consciousness. And if this resonates with you, you may even ask the universe or the angels or the person's spirit team or your own spirit team to help out by providing information that the person needs to know. I have found that once the root cause of the resistance is tapped into, it's often much easier to process and then release. As I described, when I'm aware of the person's energy resisting the release of damaging connections, I tune in and then I see, hear, or feel something from the person's energy about what is getting in the way. And then I simply tell the person what I tuned into. I often tell the person the information that I received, and then I ask them if it resonates with them. And most often when I get the information from the person's energy about what the resistance is, the person will say, yeah, I know, or yeah, that's true. What I'm often doing is simply confirming for the person something they already knew on some level of consciousness. And that feeling of something resonating can be a direct confirmation of what the person already knows, or it may feel like new information to that person, like a sense of, it feels right, but I didn't think about it that way before. And how does the person know it resonates with them? Because it feels right for them, right? And so hopefully this helps them. And with this information, it usually does. The release is usually more easily processed and released. So let me give you an example. So Mila was in a 5-year relationship, and the couple broke up 3 years ago. Mila still thinks about her ex and feels like her unhealthy attachment to him is getting in the way of her finding a new and healthier relationship. So we move forward with energetic cord cutting with the intention of releasing damaging connections to her ex. When her energy is resistant to the release, we tune into what's going on. And her energy says, he doesn't get it. Consciously, right? So I say that to Mila, and consciously Mila knows exactly what this means. He thought it was just fine to put his friends, his work, and everything else before her. She tried to talk to him about it, but he never understood. She was vulnerable, and she shared with him how this triggered issues from her past. He just told her to get over it. She felt really hurt by that response and his continued insensitivity to her feelings. She continues to have conversations in her head about what she would say now and how she wished she said those things then. She wants him to apologize, but knows that he's not someone who's going to do that for her. He didn't apologize for those things that were even more obviously hurtful in their relationship. He's certainly not going to apologize for this. As we discuss it, Mila becomes more clear about the fact that she has handed our power over to her ex on an energetic level. And as long as she wishes that he would get it, as long as she waits for him to someday show up, suddenly aware and apologize, she holds on to his energy. She decided to take her power back and allow herself to move forward regardless of being understood by her ex. And in her empowerment, the unhealthy attachment releases. Yay. There are a myriad of reasons why people hold on to damaging connections. Some other examples might include not wanting to let go because right behind the release is grief. Could be grief that the relationship was not what she thought it was. Could be grief because the relationship is not what she dreamed it would be. After all, he gave her so much attention in the beginning. Maybe she felt a real strong soul connection. Maybe she assumed that meant that they were meant to have a deep, magical, authentic, and lasting relationship. An example may be because they were an energetic match to a strong vibration of an unhealed issue. Let's do another example. Emmett had a history of being initially cherished, but then abandoned. This issue was related to his childhood. So when Samantha showed up and was super quickly enamored with him, yet clearly had commitment issues, Emmett felt like he knew this person, felt like they were on the same wavelength because they were, and thought this relationship was what he was looking for, when in fact it was a match to his issue, as ultimately Samantha could not sustain the level of commitment that Emmett was looking for, and she left. Now, Emmett can take this as, oh man, I never attract the right person, or people always reject me, or Emmett can release the damaging connections to Samantha and use this as an opportunity to look at the origins, the roots of this issue in his life, and do some healing and releasing work related to the root cause. Once Emmett heals this issue and therefore shifts his energetic vibration, he will attract a different woman into his life. Sometimes people struggle with the idea of letting go of damaging connections to someone, even if the relationship was overall not healthy for them, because they have a sense of a soul connection with that person. And there may be. Maybe there was a karmic issue. Maybe they needed to meet again and play it out. But even then, just because their souls knew each other does not mean that they were meant to be happily together for the rest of this lifetime. Maybe even the lesson is in the letting go, right? Another example of why someone may resist letting go is because there's an underlying fear of what life will be like when they let this go. If you let go of someone who was once really important to you, what does that mean? How will other people judge you? How will you judge yourself? I personally believe that it takes a lot of good, hearty work and sometimes great courage, often in the form of vulnerability from everyone, to be able to maintain a healthy and sustainable relationship. Yes, I also personally believe that it takes a lot of good, hearty work and great courage to let go of a relationship that is no longer healthy, or that you finally are ready to admit to yourself was perhaps never truly healthy, but it filled other needs. Sometimes a relationship ending is because one partner has grown and changed and the other has not. Sometimes it's because both have grown and changed in different directions, etc. I do believe that saying that people come into your life, quote, for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime, I believe that's a true quote. And so I invite you to be honest with yourself about your relationships. As I have the honor of working with people who are active in their healing work and evolvement, I also see many people who, as they grow, find that they often need a change in relationships. I know many people whose friends from the past are still great people, but are no longer a vibrational match to them. If you're going through this, I invite you to breathe and know that the space created by you, shifting your vibration, ultimately draws to you people at your new vibrational level. I see this all the time. Getting back to the idea of resistance to letting go because of fear of what this will look like. This could mean a fear of changing how you see yourself, what you expect of yourself once you make a change or let go, and maybe even what you believe others will expect from you once you have let go. I could go on and on. There are so many reasons for the resistance that may cause you to hold on to something that's not healthy for you. And there's also great relief and freedom, peace, and the space to more fully connect with yourself when you finally let go of what you need to. Now, before moving on to doing a brief experience with energetic cord cutting, I want to share with you a few things. First, when doing energetic cord cutting, I want to invite you to set your intention to release damaging connections only, and trust that the healthy connections remain. When you release damaging connections to someone, it is absolutely not about hurting them. We may imagine or even know that when we detach from someone, they may not be happy about the detachment. However, it's my belief that when we release damaging connections that we have to someone, that it is, or at least can be, a blessing for their soul as well. I imagine that it's not good for any of us to walk around with damaging connections anyway. You may wish the best for someone and still release damaging connections to them. And in fact, in most cases, I would invite you to do this. Okay, now some things to keep in mind. This can be powerful. If you are not ready, you may not want to move forward with doing an energetic cord cutting at this moment. An example may be that you want to release damaging connections that you have to your boss. And you know that when you release the damaging connections, there are not many or any healthy connections that remain in your job, except maybe that the job is a channel of your income at this time. And therefore, you're not ready to release that job. In a situation like this, when you release damaging connections to your boss, there's a possibility it might be harder to stay connected to that job. So only do something like this if you are ready for a change. A few more things. In my experience, about half the time, when someone cuts damaging connections to someone with whom they mostly have damaging connections with, they sometimes receive some sort of contact from the other person, like afterward. If you're like Mila and you're cutting damaging connections from someone that you mostly only have damaging connections with, and maybe you haven't seen the other person or heard from them in 3 years, it's possible to run into them in a store a couple of days after you do a successful cord cutting. It's possible that they contact you through social media, or they send you a gift out of the blue or something like that. Sometimes people have these experiences right after a cord cutting session or within days of the session. And my theory is that the other person felt the disconnection on some level of consciousness. Perhaps the other person felt a sense of, where did she or he or they go? Perhaps the other person felt compelled to connect. There's always an exception to the rule. So I don't make promises or predictions about what will happen. Also, I am talking about primarily everyday experiences. If it was an abusive relationship or if there is some level of danger, then your safety and well-being are paramount. And please do not take these examples or comments as guidance for what you need to do to ensure your safety. Make sure you receive the guidance and the protection that you need. So far, in my experience, when there is a one-time contact from the other person after doing the cord cutting, as long as you don't respond or engage, that's it. It's been a one-time thing. And usually people take it as a sign that something shifted, which is actually what they wanted. Now, also in my experience, as I said, this seems to happen about half the time. So if nothing like that happens, it doesn't mean the cord cutting didn't work. So how will you know if the cord cutting was effective? By how you feel. Do you feel more free? Do the thoughts of that person not arise so much? And if they do, not in the same way. Or even if they do arise in a similar way, are you so much more able to let it go? Now, having said all of this awesomeness about doing energetic cord cutting, it doesn't always come with immediate feelings of lightness and freedom and peace. Sometimes there's an emotional release that is part of the process. It is certainly not unusual to feel emotional while doing the releasing. And sometimes you may even feel emotional or maybe even intensely emotional afterward as you are in the process of completing the release and or allowing the feelings that are now able to surface because of the release. Because of this, I suggest that you only do energetic cord cutting when and if you are ready. You may want to make sure that you have someone you can talk to who will be supportive for you to finish the processing of feelings that may take place after doing cord cutting. You may want to make sure that you feel ready for a higher level of emotion to flow. You are responsible for you. So please make an informed decision. I'm going to offer you an opportunity to practice this in a few minutes. So please tune into yourself to decide if you want to practice this in a few minutes or not. If you're struggling with mental health issues, or even if you're not, and you're just not certain that you have the right support for yourself to do this, you might want to hold off until you have the right support system in place for any emotions that may arise after doing this. Having said this, you may simply feel better and lighter after doing this. It's not always a challenging emotional experience, but sometimes it is. Having said all of this, I'm going to invite you to either follow my guidance and allow yourself to experience a full or partial energetic cord cutting. And I say that because sometimes the cord will release in seconds or minutes, and sometimes it may take extensively longer or not be ready to be fully released or released at all. And if that happens, no pressure, just be curious to learn what that's about for you. And if you don't feel ready to do this while listening to my voice at this time, maybe you don't have the support you need afterward, or this is just not the right time for you, then don't close your eyes and do it with me. You may simply listen as a way to understand a technique to do this. Please know there are many, many ways to do energetic cord cutting. I'm just going to guide you through one way to do this. Feel free to do this for yourself in whatever way feels best for you. Okay, let's begin. I would like to invite you to close your eyes and breathe. Check in with your heart. Are you feeling in the right energy to allow yourself to have an experience of releasing damaging connections? Do you have the support that you need if this becomes emotional for you? Does it simply feel right or not? As you think about the person that you want to release damaging connections only from, see if you feel like you're ready to release those damaging connections and to wish the other person well on their journey without the damaging attachments to you. I invite you now to either listen to my voice, to learn or be curious about this, or listen to my voice to have an experience with the intention of this leading to greater peace in your life. I am going to invite you to say some things. I'm going to invite you to say these things silently to yourself for the purposes of this presentation while we're all on Zoom, just in case someone's mute button is not working. However, please know that this is also effective if you do this in the future, of course, if you choose to speak out loud in your own private space in the future. Even though you're releasing damaging connections to someone else, you do not need them to be physically present. This is a healing technique for you to do for you. Keeping your eyes closed. Once again, focus on your breath. And breathe more slowly and more deeply than you usually do. And tune into yourself and set your intention. You may say something to yourself like, I am ready to release damaging connections that will allow me to experience greater peace in my life. And I am ready to do this in the best way for the highest good of all. If this feels right, I will repeat this. Feel free to repeat this to yourself. I am ready to release damaging connections that will allow me to experience greater peace in my life. And I am ready to do this in the best way for the highest good of all. As you enter into this sacred space with yourself, invite in protection from the universe, divine source. You may want to invite in Archangel Michael. You may say something like, I thank you, Archangel Michael, for protecting me. Thank you for keeping me safe on every level. And I ask Archangel Michael to assist me with releasing what does not serve me for the highest good. And now imagine the person that you want to release damaging connections from, and say to yourself that person's name and tell them that it is time, that you are releasing all damaging connections to them now and in all aspects of time, including the past, the present, the future. Allow yourself to more fully feel your intention to use this opportunity to release and let go of anything that is damaging between you. Sense or know Archangel Michael assisting you with this release. You may find yourself physically compelled to move your arms and hands as you sense your arms and hands moving around your body and cutting and pushing away the damaging connections as they release out of your energy field. Use your breath to help you with the release. Feel yourself saying, I'm done. I release. If you don't feel much or you feel resistance, be curious. Ask yourself, why am I holding on? And allow yourself to be willing to shift your thoughts and feelings to allow you to set yourself free. Take back your power. Do this as a loving act for yourself. And if needed or guided, express compassion for the other person. Wish them the best and let go. Allow the intention that you have set and the assistance of Archangel Michael to assist you in this process. Continue this release. I will now be silent for a couple of minutes as you continue this process. And now I invite you to get in touch with the light within yourself, the core of yourself, which is the light of love. and allow the light that is you to expand within you and through the pores of your skin, filling your energy field. As you do this, allow the love from divine source, from the universe, to fill you with the light of love. Ask for the damaging connections that were released to be transmuted in the best way by the universe. Trust that the energy is transmuted, transformed for the highest good, as a blessing for all. And begin to get in touch with your breath. As you get in touch with your breath and in touch with your physical body, and feel yourself in this time and space, begin to slowly open your eyes, allowing yourself to be more present. Bringing your awareness fully back now to your body, to this time and this space, to your breath, to your physical body. When you open your eyes, I want to give you some silent time. We'll just do 30 seconds or so. If there's something that came up for you, if you want to jot down a few words, go ahead and do this now. And if not, just notice the energy. Take this time to notice the energy of what you're experiencing right now. I'm feeling to invite at least some of you, if this pertains to you, to ground. Some of you are a little floating up there. Feel yourself in your physical body. If your feet are not on the ground, put them on the ground. Feel your feet sinking in deep into the earth, connecting deeply, being present in this moment. I hope that you feel lighter. I hope that you feel more free. And if you feel emotional, know that's part of the process of release. This is all meant to lead you to greater peace. If you feel that you need to repeat this process to complete the release, go ahead and do so when you're ready, at any time in the future. If you feel like you were not able to release completely, then start with asking yourself questions about what may be getting in the way of the full release right now. You may want to journal about it. Journal and then be silent and reflective and tune into your energy and see what emerges. Even if you're still unsure, you may repeat the process anyway. You may even discover the resistance to be overcome as you're doing the process again. Remember to tune into yourself first to get a sense of readiness, ask for protection, and go ahead and release. You do not need my voice for you to do this. Use your voice, either out loud or in your head. Sometimes you may find that you need to be firm about your intention. And at the same time, be kind with yourself. And remember to bring in and connect with the light to complete the process. Okay, now let's say you do this and you feel really good. You can't identify any more damaging connections. It feels complete. Yay. Then are you really done for good? Probably, but it's possible. I say probably because it's possible. to reconnect damaging connections. Since you made an effort to do the cord cutting and you wanted to stay that way, I want to suggest some preventative techniques to avoid reconnection. When I talked earlier about how it is possible that you may experience brief contact after doing energetic cord cutting from someone that you mostly have damaging connections with, and I talked about how in my experience, when the person does not respond, if you're the one who did the cord cutting and you don't respond to that brief contact, the connection usually easily falls away. What happens if you do respond? That's up to you. If you respond in such a way that there's additional closure for you, you may be able to keep the cords disconnected. But if you respond and you get caught up in the old emotions, old experience, even maybe the old narrative, it's likely you will reconnect damaging connections. And if you don't connect with the person directly, but you continue to connect with them energetically, you may still reconnect damaging connections. What I mean by this is that if you think about them repeatedly, create or continue behaviors that are not healthy for you, an emotional reaction to their energy, this could be an issue. My suggestion in general is that if you find yourself thinking about that person again, you may want to be curious. Ask yourself what triggered the thought. What still needs to heal? Is there another perspective or lesson to learn? If you're just stuck in the loop of thought, then unless you find value, maybe using some of those questions I just stated, then change the thought, just like changing the channel. You may want to say something to yourself like, quick, think about what I'm grateful for right now, unrelated to the person. In almost every moment of our lives, even during the hard times, if someone were to say to you, think about something that you're grateful for, you would be able to come up with something. This is a gift. Let yourself go to that new thought and higher vibration. And it may very well put a break on the cycle of old negative thought patterns. You may even want to say no to that loop of thought and physically push away those old thoughts, and then breathe into the gratitude thoughts. A common and often amazingly effective technique to assist with more fully letting go is to write a letter to the person. Do not send it, and then release that letter. You have probably heard of this before, but have you actually done this? As an adult in her mid-30s, Rochelle became aware of how her anger toward her mother was affecting her life. Not only was she angry that her mother's narcissism hurt her, and it made it harder for her to have healthy relationships, but she had a sense that the anger itself was affecting her health. Now, Rochelle's mother was still alive. In fact, she still talked to her, and she previously tried to express her feelings to her mother, but her mother just got defensive, and it seemed to make things worse. But Rochelle wanted to get over the anger toward her mother that she recognized was hurting her. So Rochelle heard about energetic cord cutting, and she heard about writing and releasing a letter, but she was afraid to do either of these things or any of the other things that she heard about. It took her years to set boundaries with her mother. If she releases her anger, she might allow her mother in again, and she could be really hurt, even more so. And let's say that she needs to forgive her mother in order to fully release her anger. Then what? Doesn't forgiveness mean that she would need to be friends with her mother and hang out with her more? If she forgives her mother, doesn't that mean that she would forget? Join me now in the answer, because the answer is no. You can forgive and not be friends. You can forgive and not forget. In fact, if the person is still in your life, why would you want to forget? Remembering who they are and what they're capable of may be quite protective. Forgiveness is about being done with the suffering. A friend once suggested to me, forgive in the most selfish way possible, she said to me. And I took that to mean forgive someone that I need to forgive completely for myself. And yes, isn't that what it's about anyway? You primarily and maybe completely Forgive someone to release and heal yourself. Sometimes people rush to forgiveness, but have not really completed the work. Rochelle tried that. She told herself that she forgave her mother, but over time she realized that she simply shoved her anger down deep so that she didn't have to deal with the emotion on a regular basis. The anger was still in there. It presented itself as pain in her body, even though, and especially when she was no longer in touch with the emotion of it all. When she was ready, she decided to write the letter to her mother with the intention of not sending it and knowing that she would release it. While the kids were at school, she took personal time off from work and scheduled space and time for herself. She sat down with the intention of writing out the thoughts and feelings that were within her, with the intention of release for her own healing. And she allowed herself the time and space to feel. She started with the first thing that she could remember that her mother did or didn't do, that disregarded her, that hurt her, that angered her. She found herself writing things like, "Mama, I can't believe that you ... But you did, and you hurt me. And that made me think this and this about myself. That messed me up." Or insert a more harsh word here. She started feeling guilty for writing this, and maybe even for feeling this way. But then she let herself know that she would never say these things to her mother. And she was not writing them now to hurt her mother. She was writing them now to release her pain, her anger, her hurt from her core to finally heal. She wrote and cried, and even found herself letting out a big yell and cried some more. And she put away the letter and thought about her feelings for a few days. Then on a night close to the night of the full moon, she took the letter outside with a metal bowl and a match. She set her intention to set herself free from all that anger, from all that pain. And she asked the universe to take the energy of this and to transmute it for the highest good. And she safely lit the letter on fire in the metal bowl. She sat alone, watching the letter burn and smoke arise to the universe to be transformed. And she wanted to be done in a few seconds, but she forced herself to sit for as long as it took for the letter to completely turn into ash and smoke. She allowed herself to be in the energy of release with the support from the moon and the universe. And when she was done and the fire was safely out, she went back inside, rinsed her hands and her face, and went to sleep. When she woke up the next morning, she was amazed at how much her physical pain had diminished and how the morning just seemed brighter. Her mother is still in her life. Her mother's still the same person with the same behaviors and limitations, but Rochelle feels more free and physically and emotionally more peaceful. I have heard stories like this many times. This can be quite powerful. The hardest part is usually sitting down to actually write the letter. And what I have found over and over too, is that for many people, when they're finally ready to forgive someone, they often tell me, I can forgive them, or I have forgiven them, but I can't forgive what they did to someone else. In this case, Rochelle was able to forgive her mother, but she couldn't forgive her mother for what she did to her father. It's as if her holding on to unforgiveness helps her father. Of course, it doesn't help her father. She can support and love her father. I invited her to even forgive her mother for what she did to her father. The forgiveness is not saying that it's okay. It's just accepting that the past happened and that she's ready to release the pain and not allow it to hurt her anymore. With a relationship that has ended, when you are ready, You may find yourself guided to do something similar. A letter that you release, or you may feel guided to burn under the sun or under the moon, letters that you feel it's time to let go of. Often the important part of this is allowing yourself to have the feelings in the process. And yes, these are feelings that are often associated with grief, denial, anger, sadness, bargaining, and ultimately acceptance. And by the way, sometimes even appreciation for the relationship that has ended. Sometimes appreciation for the relationship ending because you see how it was no longer serving your highest good. And then allow the peace to naturally flow in. It will then have space to do that. One more of my favorite healing from release of relationship techniques that I would like to share is something that I read in a book many years ago. I don't remember the title, but I have heard many versions of this idea since reading that book. The recommendation is to write your relationship in the form of a story. You may want to write the story of your relationship in the third person. What is the big picture of that chapter of your life? What is the story really about? Give it a title. Let it have its place in your life and allow yourself to peacefully and joyfully move into the next chapter. I'm hoping that the energy of this discussion is getting you ready to apply forgiveness for yourself as well. So often people don't forgive themselves for mistakes made or missed opportunities not taken or for causing pain to someone else. Regrets, the shoulda, woulda, couldas. Let's start with regret for causing someone else pain. Perhaps you feel guilty because you did or didn't do something that caused someone else pain. If you experience guilt related to causing someone else pain, perhaps that is a good sign. Guilt, remorse, and shame, I believe, have a place in the human experience. Sometimes people behave in ways where they should feel guilt, remorse, and shame, and they don't. That is a much bigger problem. If you intended to harm, then guilt and shame are letting you know that you need to behave differently. This awareness is a good thing. You need to look for the root cause of your behavior and do what you need to do to heal. And do your best to behave differently in the future, including changing your intention. Now, if you feel guilty because someone was hurt when you had absolutely no intention to harm, where you actually had good intention, then look at that. Is it real guilt when the intention is good? Are you feeling guilty because someone told you that you're not entitled to something that you are actually entitled to in a healthy way? Like being entitled to experience a myriad of feelings, like being entitled to self-care. When guilt arises, be curious, be honest, tell yourself the truth. So often we regret things that we did or didn't do that have affected our lives. And you find yourself wishing that you did or didn't do things differently. So often we come to conclusions about what should have or should not have happened. To help with this, you may want to see if there is a reason for the event taking place. And if you can't find one, or one that's not adequate enough, then know that you have the option of using it as a learning opportunity. I understand that chances are that you would rather not have had that learning opportunity. You would rather go back and change what happened or what you said or didn't say. As we experience linear time, and with that concept, can't go back, it's an opportunity to learn about yourself, to understand what you can, and do your best to learn from it. It really is very much, again, a grief experience. Have all of your feelings, stages of guilt. Feel your sadness and your anger and even bargaining, and then allow yourself to eventually get to a space of acceptance. Allow yourself to get to an energetic place where you choose not to extend your suffering. If you're already suffering because of a regret, the only thing worse, I believe, is to continue to suffer regarding this exact same thing. Offer yourself the same love and compassion and forgiveness that you would offer a dear friend. Breathe and allow yourself to cherish yourself for the absolutely wonderful and imperfect person that you are. And if you are still feeling affected by the regret, then use the regret as a powerful motivating force to make changes in the future, or to teach someone else who wants to learn from your mistakes, and of course, with whom you'd like to share. In that way, you're practically transmuting the experience into something more life-giving. And in very general terms, how do we make it less likely to do or not do things that we will regret later? Well, we're more likely to do things that are right for us when we're connected to ourselves, when we're deeply in touch with ourselves and living in alignment with the core of who we are. One way to do this is through meditation. When you're in touch with the subtle energy of yourself, it may help you with the awareness of what's going on with you on all levels, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Also, when you allow yourself to tune in, you may also find it easier to tune into the support from the universe and Mother Earth herself. I believe in a loving and benevolent universe, and I believe in loving and benevolent beings of light, including the angels. One way to get in touch with your energy is through the chakra system. Chakras are a way to talk about our energy and where and how we process our energy. Bringing the chakra system down to practical terms that we can relate to, I would like to guide you through a meditation that focuses on the chakras and the elements related to the chakras. I will also invite you to connect with some of the archangels in this meditation for support, with the intention of getting in tune with yourself and the benevolent universe and beings of light to help you connect more deeply with yourself and let go of what you need to let go of from that place of deep connection. I would like to offer you a meditative experience. And so I'm hoping that, Smith, you're able to bring this up with the music. We'll see.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Susan. Excellent, excellent speaking and great message. We were having a technical difficulty, so I'm going to stop my video. That gives me some more bandwidth, and then I'm going to start the meditation. If it's not working, then you just give me. Well, I'll be looking at just like you are. Just give me a sign or a symbol, and we'll make adjustments, and we'll go from there. Is that okay?
Okay.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Here we go.
I invite you to get as comfortable as you can and begin this meditation with your feet firmly on the floor. And set your intention to connect deeply with yourself, with your energy. Set your intention to let go of whatever is best for you to release, that which will bring you greater peace. Knowing that if you release during this meditation, that you are truly ready to do so. And trust that whatever you hold on to in the process is there for a reason as well. As you do this meditation, let go of judgment and simply bring in compassion for yourself and curiosity about the experience of your own energy. And now close your eyes and bring your attention to your breath. And as you breathe more deeply than you usually do, allow your muscles to relax. Allow your mind to find ease. Allow yourself to enter fully into this space. As you breathe more deeply, feel your abdomen expand. And as you breathe out, feel that breath going down both of your legs. Breathe in deeply again. And hold your breath for a few seconds at your lower belly. And as you exhale, the breath goes down your legs and into the earth. You are now connected to the energy of your root chakra. Notice how you can feel or sense a channel of your breath flowing down your legs and feet into the earth. And as you do this, feel your feet more deeply connecting with the earth. You may even feel a magnetic-like connection being drawn closer and closer to the energy of, oh, great Mother, Mother Earth. Become aware of your lower body feeling strong. Feel roots naturally growing from the bottom of your feet, going down deep into the earth and reaching out expansively, just like a deeply rooted and supported tree. With this depth of support, you feel your arms raise up as branches of a tree and feel the expansion upward. Experience the beauty of your physical body. You feel the sun warm your arms, your branches. You may notice leaves or fruits that are on your branches. You are abundant. You may lower your arms, but stay connected to this experience. You are one with nature. You have a deeper understanding of the animal kingdom as you are in touch with your primal instincts and animal-like nature. This deep connection with the earth and all that is natural upon the earth heals you. As you remain deeply connected to the earth, you may become aware of the energy of Archangel Ariel. Archangel Ariel appears as an African man, and his energy is a beautiful balance of divine feminine and masculine. His African hair glows and shows itself to be the mane of a lion. He is naturally connected to the magic of the earth and is here to support you. He invites you to allow the life force energy of Mother Earth into your physical body. And so you connect to the color red in the center of the earth, the color of life blood from the heart of Mother Earth. And you allow the nourishment of this energy to flow upward from the center of the earth into your feet, up your legs, and you feel it flow all the way until it reaches the top of your head. This energy flows into every cell of your body, nourishing you, healing you. Again, draw up the red energy of Mother Earth into your body and let it fill you. As you feel the nurturing of the great Mother Earth, you feel comforted. She has you. And with this comfort, you can do what you need to do. You know the root chakra carries the love and support as well as the challenges of your family of origin. It carries the role that you played in that family. It may absorb fear, and you are ready to release the fear. And you hear the roar of Archangel Ariel's energy through the shape-shifted lion. The roar invites you to summon your courage and to use your strong intention to stand in who you are. Bring to the forefront of your mind any fears of lack of protection, fears of lack of resources. Bring to the forefront of your mind any hurts from your family of origin, any aspects of the role that you played that you wish to now release. And feel yourself shape-shifting into a lion yourself. Take a deep breath. And with a forceful exhale, feel yourself roar and release all of these fears and issues. Feel yourself roaring and releasing once more. And one more time, with great force, releasing any residual energy. Feel the relief of having released these things. And feel gratitude for the constant support of Mother Earth and the loving, powerful, magical energy of Archangel Ariel. And rest. Feel the increased vitality flow through your legs. Now breathe deeply into your lower belly and connect with the area of your pelvis. As you connect to the energy of your sacral chakra, feel the flow of water. Your sacral chakra is an ocean. There is a sensuality and a sexuality connected to the ocean. It flows with the passion of the waves, and the sand yields to the water. Sometimes the water is stirred with intense emotions, and there is a lot being carried by the water. And at other times, the water is calm. You may experience the water in your sacral chakra as a creative fountain that brings to the surface new, creative ideas. Perhaps you experience the water of your sacral chakra as a river that not only has formed its path through the rock, but also the river that in its feminine energy flows effortlessly. The water surrenders to the path that lies before her, and you begin to notice the glistening of the water, of the billions of drops of water that flow together. You know that water holds memory. Some of these memories are to be cherished, and some memories need to be healed. Set your intention to heal from the pain of those memories. And with this intention, you begin to sense the presence of Archangel Gabriel. Allow her glowing copper energy to come close to you. You may sense Archangel Gabriel offering you her strength. And in this strength, allow yourself to feel the vibration of the sounding of her trumpet. You see the river of water ripple with the tones of the trumpet as they awaken. Allow all that has been awakened and all that needs to clear from your water to clear and release. As you sense the further sounding of the trumpet of Archangel Gabriel. She communicates to you the good news of you being nurtured by divine love. As the cleansed water flows, allow it to cleanse you and soothe you and rest. Feel the increased natural flow through your pelvis area. And take a deep breath. And connect to the area of your stomach. As you connect to your solar plexus, feel your connection to the bright light and warmth of the sun, to the brilliance as well as the heat of your fire within. As you are more and more connected with who you really are, your fire burns more brightly and intensely. Centered in this area, you are able to naturally transmute any energy that does not serve you. In the masculine energy of the solar plexus chakra, you take action. You decide that it is time to transform anything that has hindered your confidence, anything that made you believe that you were something or someone that you are not, anything that made you feel less than. You are a powerful being of light, and you came here to shine that powerful light in this world. Feel the fire of your passion. Feel the fire of your authentic self. You are supported in this process by Archangel Uriel. He shines like the sun. He who is the fire of God and the light of God is a wise mentor. He is the most sure-sighted of all the archangels as he lights the way. He helps you to see things in your life. He gets it. He sees it. He sees you. And he believes in you. And he lends you his energy to help you to believe in yourself. With the support of Archangel Uriel, focus on the center and core of your being. With the authentic core of yourself. See or sense or know the fire that you are. And in this energy of who you really are, throw any limiting beliefs, issues with worthiness, any sense that you are any less than powerful in who you are, and throw it all into the fire, where it completely transmutes and releases with the smoke that is brought up to divine source. And with a sense of contentment, rest. And feel the flow of energy through your stomach area. And take a deep breath. And connect to your heart chakra at the center of your chest. Here is the integration of your feminine and masculine energies. This balance of the love that you are. Your heart pumps your blood, and your lungs help you to breathe. You feel the flow of air through you as you connect to this space. You may get in touch with areas of your heart or your lungs that feel heavy. Perhaps there is a loss that you are grieving. And if so, call on Archangel Azrael. He is strong, yet gentle. His presence makes you feel secure. You know that you can rest softly in his arms. He will ease you through the process of your loss. Let the gentle wind of your heart chakra carry the sadness, and breathe out pain with his support. You may notice other areas that need to heal in your heart. Perhaps there are heartbreaks. Invite in the green light of Archangel Raphael, the blessed healer, to help you to mend your heart. Notice his healing light helping you to form connections between the broken areas of your heart, so much so that these areas are strengthened. and become more beautiful by having gone through the experience. Allow the flow of air through your heart chakra to allow the ease of travel of the green healing light of Archangel Raphael. Feel this healing flow through your heart, through your lungs, through your shoulders, arms, and hands. And open your hands fully, allowing you to release any heartbreak through your hands, through the tips of your fingers. And leave your hands open to receive the gift of love and healing that is meant for you. Feel the healing energy flowing through you. As you experience the energy of healing and love, you may sense the energy of Archangel Chamuel. He illuminates your spiritual path and reminds you that the only thing that is truly real is the energy of love. Archangel Chamuel is here to offer you a path to true loving connection in your life. Allow this into your heart. And rest. And feel the ease of flow of energy through your heart chakra. And take a deep breath and connect to the energy of the base of your throat. This is your throat chakra, where you connect to words of truth, where you connect to your unique vibration. This chakra is the authentic expression of who you really are. You speak your life and your experiences into existence. You are empowered by your expression, and your expression empowers the whole. And so, Archangel Michael, he who is like God, joins you in the space of your unique vibration. Your vocal cords strengthen you as you speak the truth and you share the expression of your glorious vibration. Archangel Michael helps you to stand in the power of expressing in whatever way you choose the essence of who you are. He stands with his sword ready to help you to release whatever is not the true expression of you. If you have lied to yourself about who you are, about your worth, he will help you to release the falsehoods. If you have allowed others to constrict your voice, you may ask Archangel Michael to use his sword to release the damaging, the constricting connections. And tell yourself the truth. Hear the truth of who you are from within. Hear the truth of who you are from the universe. Hear the love, support, and protection that the universe has for you. And feel that same love, support, and protection flowing from Archangel Michael. Ask Archangel Michael to help you to release anything that is not for your highest good, to release anything that interferes with the expression of who you really are. Use your voice. Ask and allow the release. Speak the truth of yourself into form and being. And rest. And take a deep breath. And connect to the energy of your third eye chakra in the center of your forehead. As you connect to the energy of your third eye, you may sense your energy moving in a trance-like state. And you are connected with the light that shines in the night sky. And you see beyond the physical. You are inspired. You use your intuitive gifts to see beyond matter. You see what is really important. You recognize that peace and unity and love are high values. You connect to the energy of Archangel Jeremiah, who helps you to review your life and truly see where you have been and where you want to go in your life. He helps you to have a higher vision for your spiritual path. And with this higher vision, you are joined by Archangel Zadkiel. You sense his violet flame of transformation in the energy of the night sky. And it lights up the night sky with the readiness to help you to release based on what you now see in your higher vision, in the vibration of understanding and compassion, in the energy of forgiveness. Release the hurts that you have felt come to you. Know that as you release into the violet flame, you are loved and supported, and you see the truth of love and light. And with this higher vision, rest and feel the flow of energy through your third eye chakra. And once again, take a deep breath and connect with the top of your head. As you connect with the energy of your crown chakra, allow yourself to release all of your earthly attachments. And in doing so, feel the freedom to fully connect with the oneness of the universe. This is a glorious place to let go of anything else that you have been holding on to that no longer serves you. Let go Surrender to the universe. Feel the flow of energy up and out of your crown chakra. Archangel Metatron joins you in this energy. He is the scribe who records everything in the Akashic records. There is no need to hold on to old information. He has this taken care of. Allow yourself to release. Archangel Metatron helps you to access your highest vibration and helps you to ascend to a higher dimension. Allow the energy of Archangel Metatron to assist you in this raising of your vibration. Feel the lightness of being in the energy of your crown chakra. Archangel Sandalphon joins you and Archangel Metatron in helping you to connect your higher vibrational energy to the energy of your incarnation on earth. Archangel Sandalphon's energy is rooted deep in the earth and expands upward into the far reaches of heaven. His energy through music and harmony gently allows your prayers to flow from earth to heaven, and for the answers to your prayers to flow from heaven to earth. And in this flow of energy, feel your own energetic flow as well. Feel the energy of your root chakra at your feet flow upward to your crown chakra at the top of your head. And feel the flow of love and lightness from the universe flowing from your crown chakra all the way down to your root chakra. Feel this flow up and down. Feel the cleanse. Feel the release. Feel the flow. Feel freedom as your energy rises up. And feel manifestation of all that is highest flow down to earth for you. You are connected. You are supported. You are loved. You are free. And in the lightness of this experience, the lightness of the release, the lightness of the light itself flowing through you, allow yourself to become aware of your breath. Allow yourself to become aware of your physical body, your sense of your body on this earth, in this space, in this time. With more awareness now, feeling fully in your physical body, fully present. Experience yourself here in this moment. Feeling fully present, you may slowly open your eyes.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. All right, well, I want to give a big thank you to Susan for tonight, and thank you for working with me through any of the technical difficulties. If everybody gives Susan a hand, that would be great. And so, okay, everybody, I want you to have a great month. Thank you again for joining us tonight, and thank you, Susan Melchione, for your presentation and the meditation and everything. See you again next month. Good night.
Thank you.